Greetings, thank you everyone, and welcome again. Now we will again resume our talk and go through the teaching by the Japji Dunjur Rinpoche. And this Japji Dunjur Rinpoche's teaching, what we're going through is the essential teachings of the greatest teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni. How to put that into practice, more simple, more easy, activated. That's so good. We have some good realizations in this lifetime, so that it will be continually benefited, bright up our destinations of to come. So that's what really we're going through this all that one kind of gradually, slowly by slowly, to activate our knowledge and understanding of the Dharma that we will receive from many great masters one after another, and as well as also we read books and so much. So all those kind of trying to really kind of reactivate it, trying to bring on the spotlight so that we really benefit it to ourselves. It will bring joy, peace, happiness, and so for ourselves, but also some really that energy where we got joy, peace, happiness, some realization benefited to the others. So that is what it is. All about. And now again to do this according to the teaching, always mention, and so we strengthen our motivation. Again, why I'm talking all the time motivation, because this is really what teaching is based upon the motivation. Entirely Buddha's teachings of the 9 jhana teachings, all 84,000 teachings are to purify our obscuration of the mind. All wild negative mind, transcendented and bring the original innate nature of the mind. Mind, peace, happiness, loving kindness. When our mind is become in that beautiful status, it naturally affects our verbal communications. Verbal communication will become gentle, peaceful, and immediately that also immediately affect to our physical activities. Our physical activity will become more gentle, more peaceful, more appealing, more kind of like to beneficial, and politeness. All those really will come so easily, beautiful. That's why great teachers, Buddha summarized entire teaching, said, to subdue all the negativities and perform all the positive activities or virtues, discipline one's own mind. This is Buddha teaching. Oh, this is my teaching. That's what great teacher said. Discipline one's own mind. What we are going to discipline? We're going to display of our wild, neurotic, that unbeneficial thought. That going to dispel. That going to subdue. And now to do that, the teaching, follow with the teaching of the Buddha Shakyamuni is excellent. There's no better solutions, better alternatives taught by any other great masters and the Buddha's teaching. Is really wonderful, it's gentle, peaceful, appealing. It touches to our core of heart, our own nature. It's about explaining our nature, our beauty. I mean, that is all about. So therefore, for that reason, we're really following it. That's what we practice. We're not just a practice, means we're not just living that in an intellectual status. Intellectuals, we're observing that in the heart, activating that, so that we'll be radiating through our, as I said earlier, through the mind, through the speech, through the body. That is what it is. So therefore, again, to strengthen our beautiful motivation of the joy and the appreciations. Life is precious. Life is so special. We have short times, in a way. 100 years, or 60 years, 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, whatever it is. We are here, in a way, in a kind of long period of the century, all those things of that, our lifespan is really not too long. And that time, we're trying to really bring some good result in our self. And therefore, again, bring joy and appreciation. Should bring more joy. Appreciation is our situation, circumstances, and which is done, which is essence of the Dharma practices. And then, together with the Bodhicitta, vastness motivation of the Bodhicitta for all living beings. That's what the teaching said. And that is what we're going through. And then purity realization of the Vajrayana teaching. So those all beautiful motivation, intention, that is our foundation. From that foundation, we are going to build up, reactivate it, re-glorify that motivation is the practices. That is what we're really going to do. And again, to do that, and what we went through this, as you all know, we teaching through this, Jabji Dunjur was teaching, we discussed it about the, started with the 4 renunciation thoughts we discussed. That is the essence of teachings of the great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni, first true noble truth, the teaching. Cause of suffering truth, suffering truth. That is basically, it is really the essence of that. How to bring that again. That is nothing mystery, is nothing kind of like any extraordinary, or is it kind of like something secret of Buddhist dogmas or anything. It's the way things are. That is, and these 4 renunciation thoughts are, again, precious life is so precious. That, reflecting on that. This 4 also, this 4 renunciation thought is 4 great tools of the mindfulness practices. Mindfulness practice. Not looking outside all the time. We're looking to our own best foundation, our own home where we are. Really. And so we don't ignore our precious life. And therefore, great teacher Buddha taught, precious life. Life is so important, precious. It's a vehicle to cross the ocean of samsara, or it's a fundamental tool to bring some good developments. So therefore, well, body is here, life is here, it's so special, so beautiful. Then in the Vajrayana teachings, this body is like temple, is a shrine room of the divine mandalas. It's so special. That divine mandala is with us. How precious, how beautiful. And we really use this mandala. We really can activate it in not just the body, only this, our body mandala, the entire universe can be really become the mandala of the Buddhas, as it is said. And the next one is the 4 renunciation thought, as we all know, impermanent. Impermanent changing. Again, reflecting on that. Not naively kind of ignoring that, but looking to that impermanent is where the truth is truth. It's changing. We know that changing all the time, constantly. So when we reflect in impermanent, what it in the teaching says, it will bring our mind is more gentle, more peaceful, more practical. And we become more wiser to use the times, not waste the times. And that is what really is, reflecting on impermanent. Again, if we reflect on impermanent, it's a very, very powerful mindfulness practices. It brings us more to the center, not scattered. It will bring. And then bring to the center. And next one is the 4 renunciation thought, as you all know. Cause and effects are inevitable, which is also known as karma. Reflecting, this is true. Externally, everything is like exactly where things are, cause and conditions, and that bring the result. And similarly, our mental state is the same. So, again, put more mindfulness. So our activities become more mindful, more gentle, more peaceful, more meaningful, more practical. It really will help. And therefore, reflecting of the law of the karma or cause and effects. And next one is the 4th one is samsara has a lot of difficulty, challenges. Because it's changing. It is moving. It's not stable all the time. One after another. Change is not bad, because that's what we can improve. But it is always like this. It's kind of, mostly like roller coasters, ups and downs and all that. And then our feelings and our intentions and our desires are not always matching those things, what change comes. And then we, in a way, crushed between them. Because what we expected, what is happening, naturally, and then it becomes uncomfortable. So reflecting that. And what it does, it will broaden our mind, more open mind, more relaxed mind. Let it come, let it go, but we're going to continue going to surfing on these waves of the change of lives. That is what the really identity and the principle of the practitioners. So that's what we went through. And then we talk about the refuges. That is the foundation of the Buddha teaching, refuge. We discussed that going to refuges. Once we take the refuge, is the primary purpose of the cause of a refuge in the Mahayana teaching is compassion. Because I like to help all the sentient beings and remove their suffering, their difficulty, trouble. Therefore, I like to take refuge and get help activated by standing so that I can help to all the ways from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and Dharma teachings. So that's really, in the teaching said, primary cause of taking refuge, according Mahayana, is compassion. Once we talk the refuge, then we discuss about the Bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is very, very special teachings of the Mahayana. Generally, entirely Buddha teaching is based upon compassion, based upon loving kindness. But Mahayana is emphasizing on the compassion and bodhicitta. That is, and Mahayana, again, bodhicitta we discussed. And bodhicitta can be, there is different kind of way to deviations or different deviations we discussed. Because summarized according to the teaching, two bodhicittas, wishing bodhicitta and actualizing bodhicitta. Whether it is wishing bodhicitta, whether it is actualizing bodhicitta, it is compassion, it is a loving kindness, it is a wisdom. That is, all that is important. There's no difference there. And first, where things are developing bodhicitta, then there is a true. Wishing bodhicitta comes first, and as wishing bodhicitta comes first, and as keep that attitude or that bodhicitta, and then we activate the bodhicitta, which is actualizing the bodhicitta. So wishing bodhicitta is again the highlight of the Four Boundless. That we went through, and you all know Four Boundless. This Four Boundless, again, this bodhicitta is according to the teaching of the Buddha, in particular Mahayana and Vedayana teaching. Bodhicitta is nature of the mind. It's really nature. It's one's own ordinary nature of the mind. Nature of the mind is emptiness. Nature of mind is loving kindness. Nature of mind is compassion. It's blended in together without any separations. It's therefore many times in the teaching mentioned unions. So that is what. And that extended in the Mahayana, Four Boundlessness. Without any borders. Boundless love, boundless compassion, boundless joy, and boundless equanimities. Without any borders. When the sizzling quality of that very fresh in the heart and the mind, then together with that, we do the Tungnim practices. Those are the equalizing and the Tungnim, and the others are even more important than ourselves. Those are teaching. Those are the exercise, mentally exercise. Once we have the sizzling energy, quality of the Four Boundless, then you put that in a mental exercise. And the Tungnim practice, commonly, I think it's quite very popular in Western, in particular those Western Tibetan Buddhist practitioners, Tungnim practice. Tungnim means sending the happiness and peace and joy, taking in the difficulty troubles of the sentient beings. Those are known as Tongli. But Tongli has three. First is equalizing. Bring everyone is equal. That equal thought. We all equal. Really equal. Feeling level equal. Desire level equal. And as well as our kind of like where we are is equal, or where we are best, where we are sane is equal. What we are is equal. What we share is equal. There's no really difference at all. So this is true. Reflect the truth as truth. That is. Once you got that, again I'm going to do that, and then do the Tongli practice. Tongli exchanging. Tongli exchanging, as I said already. Once you got those things, it's not something that you have to do that and that. You can do ultimately that too. But then, the most important, others are more important than ourselves. So that is known as Tongli practices. Those all are teaching mentioned as part of the Vishin Bodhicitta practices. Now these Vishin Bodhicitta practices, then you come to the actualizing Bodhicitta. When you come to the actualizing Bodhicitta, then you can do also these Tongli practices as well as the Paul Boneless practices. Actualizing Bodhicitta is what? There is generally the activity of the Bodhisattvas is actualizing Bodhicitta. And this Bodhisattva activity in the teaching said there's an ocean of the activity of the Bodhisattvas. There's so many, but summarize that all activity, the beneficial activity for all the sentient beings are summarized into these 6 paramanas. 6 paramanas. That is entirely Mahayana teaching. Teaching in the teaching said it can be, or practices can summarize in the 6 paramanas. And the 6th paramata can summarize into 3 extraordinary teachings, as I said. Morality, as I said, but this is the teaching said. It's not just I'm saying that, and you all know that. The morality, extraordinary practices, concentration, extraordinary practices, and wisdom, extraordinary practices. Those are the 3 lapasam, or lapasam in Tibet said, but it is 6 paramatas in that. It's more kind of condensed way. And more, when we do the 6 paramata practices or 3 extraordinary practices, training practice, what it does, in a kind of like essence level, kind of summarized level, it will purify 2 obscurations, it will accumulating, reactivating, re-energizing the 2 merits. 2 merits. Purify the 2 obscurations. And those 2 obscurations, many of you already know, the emotion obscurations, that connected with ego clingings, and all these active, gross, negative emotions. Those are the emotion obscurations. And then knowledge obscurations. Knowledge obscuration is a subtle obscurations. Subtle obscuration, in a way, base of the emotion obscurations. Base, or foundation of the emotion obscuration, in a way, is subtle. And that is what in the teaching said, grasping, clinging. Clinging to the subject, clinging to the object, clinging to the activities. Those are known as the knowledge obscurations. So these 2 characters of 6 paramata, it will clear that way. Clear that way, and it will increase in the 2 merits. Accumulation merit, wisdom merits. Accumulation merit can be, for example, first 3 paramatas are mainly accumulation merits, which is generosity paramata and as well as morality paramata, patient paramatas are accumulation merits. And the last two is concentration paramata, wisdom paramatas are known as wisdom merits. And the joyful effort paramata is support for all of paramatas or both paramatas. So, or both accumulation practices. So that is really understanding. When we are accumulating to merit this, what it brings? It brings our final realization, our discovering our final ordinary natures. And what is natures? The teaching said it will bring the achievement of the two kayas. Two kayas. And again, we discussed that earlier when we were talking about the taking refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. We went through briefly about the Buddhas and Kayas. And that two Kayas are known as Dharmakaya and Rupakayas. These are true Kayas. And now, this, for example, this accumulation merit will bring the mainly result of the Rupakayas. Accumulation merit will bring the achievement of Rupakayas. Wisdom merit will be achievement of the Dharmakayas. That is just highlighted. The reality of those, of course, these two kayas or the two merits are not different from each other, big difference from each other. And also therefore, also two kayas are not different, big from each other. Dharmakaya and Rupakaya is as one nature, many different aspects or many different emanations according to teaching. So Rupakaya is result of the practice of the accumulation merit mainly. And Dharmakaya discoverment is mainly practicing of the wisdom merits. And so that is really understanding that. Again, just a highlight of that what we went through it and last time, and just a reminder once again in that. And now, with those thoughts we're discussing, talking, and following the teaching of Abdul Rinpoche, we're talking about now again among the two bodhicattas, we're talking about I'm talking about the actualizing bodhicitta. And actualizing bodhicitta, again, 6 paramatas. Come back to 6 paramatas. And those 6 paramatas, again, I will just list, of course, we all know that. At least we all know the names. I shouldn't say we all know what are those. Those are very deep and profound, and really it's just that. But this just is the terminologies we know. And, and it's by the kindness, the gracious light of wisdom by the Buddhas and all great masters, so we know those. And so the list of the names of the 6 paramata is, first is the generosity paramata, and the second is morality paramata, and the third is the patience paramata, and the fourth is the joyful effort paramata, and the fifth is concentration paramata, and sixth is the wisdom paramatas. Those are 6 paramatas. These 6 paramatas is again the essence of practice of the entirely bodhisattvas. All the bodhisattvas. When you talk the vows of the bodhicitta, what we do? We then practice of the 6 paramatas. That's what we discussed, or we went through it according to the teaching. And then there's 7 paramatas. Each of those paramatas can be divided into many. That each of those all can be divided also 6 paramatas. Within each paramata can contain 6 of those, each of those. In that way, in the teaching said the 36 paramatas. So that means generosity paramata has 6 paramatas of generosity, and morality has 6, and 6. So 36 all together. But then to summarize that again, to more summary, easy to get, and then the paramata, each of those divided into 3. 3. That means generously divided into or subdivision 3 and the morality 3 and so forth like that. And so in that way we went through the first generous paramita, we went through those. Generous paramita even divided furthermore, not just 3, furthermore divided. For example, material generosity paramita, we divided, not we, in the teaching said 3 of those. Small material generosity, medium material generosities, and very enormous material generosities. So even material generosity divided into 3. And that way, then it really makes even the 5 or 6 generosity paramita practice. Those are we really went last time, and you remember, and I'm sure you all know in the books and all that, in also other great masters' teachings. So that's it. And so now we went through. So now we went. That means we went through generosities, and now we go still with the morality paramitas. And we discussed that the last time, and the morality paramita is divided into 3, and those are known as the morality that will avoiding all the negativities, directly, indirectly, small, medium, or the big. Whatever that is, avoiding that negativity, that is known as morality that avoiding all negativities. Whether it's a big one, whether it's a small one, whether it's a medium one, directly, indirectly. That is first morality. Second morality, gathering all the virtues. Virtues, big, small, medium, whatever it is, directly, indirectly, and kind of intend to do, and on that mood, when we keep in that attitude and do that, and that is known as the morality of the gathering all the virtues. And the third one, morality, is known as morality that will performing all the beneficial activities. Big, small, medium, or whatever, for all the beings. And so that is the 3 moralities. Again, as I said already, we all reminded to all of you, you and me, all of us, morality or this 6th paramita is absolutely based upon the 4 boundless. Absolutely. It is, whether it is morality, whether it is generosity, whether it is patience, is all based upon the 4 boundless. Or to simplify, it is based upon bodhicitta, of the loving kindness or compassion and wisdoms. That is really simple. That's it. It is. So now, morality, we got the teaching that avoiding all the negative activities, big and small or medium. That is morality. Again, based upon loving kindness, compassion, and wisdoms. And that is. And so we went that last time. Again, we shouldn't think kind of, morality, that have to avoiding all the negativities. Negativity is kind of big and huge and so kind of difficult. We should not think that. It is simple. We started simple way to activate that. It's all our intentions. It's all our mindfulness. Mindful with the compassion. For example, in the teaching said, for example, how that is. For example, if we met someone, and you had suddenly some discussions, and we started, looks like going to fight, or argue. Let's say argue. Moment our voice become kind of stronger or become louder, something, that bodhisattva practitioner immediately caught that. Why I'm raising my voice? I should not do this. I'm bodhisattva. I told bodhisattva once. I shouldn't do it. It's not good. That thought, that attitude, That mental state is avoiding negative activities. That is negative activity. You stop that. You stopped right there. We've been good boys and girls, and we did that. That moment, you feel happy. Happy, I catch by my mindfulness. I caught that, and I immediately released. I stopped it. With happy that. And maybe if we can say some words such as excuse, sorry, I said that. Those things. Oh, sorry that happened. Something like that. That is performing the virtues, gathering the virtues. That you gather the virtues. That is virtues. You pacified that situation. Whatever is going to activate it, is you pacify it. In the mind, you really caught that with your mindfulness and stop that. That is stopping the negative activities. At the same time, you kind of highlight of some degree of politeness or nice, gentle word. That is performing the beneficial. At the same time, it is gathering the virtues. And more than that, in the teaching said, if you have the mindfulness that time, dedicated that merit. You did something really good. I did something good. Kind of feel happy and joy, and I wish may I able to do that more again in the future. And whatever the energy merit it came, I dedicated that for all the sentient beings. That is also known as in the teaching say, it is benefit, performing the beneficial activities for all the sentient beings. So therefore, generally this is not something that gigantic things we can do. It's just this is practical, being thoughtful, with mindfulness as the move gradually move that. And then big things and even medium things, whatever we can do is wonderful, great. Every time with happy and joy, and dedicated that merit for all the sentient beings, whatever we can do. That is known as they are all the morality. Everything comes in that status. Negative, stop with morality that stop all the negativities, morality that will perform with all positive activities, and morality that benefit for all sentient beings. Really all came there. So that is general kind of understanding of these moralities. Now, as I said the other day or the last time, this performing all the morality that will perform all the positive activity or dharma activity that encompass entire practices. Entire of these teachings, practices. For example, all this from here, Chapter Dunjurmi is teaching from all this, from page 1 till end, it is all. Or it encompasses entirely like visualizations, complete stages, Vajrayana teachings. It encompasses entirely Vipassana, Shamatha meditations, all that really it encompasses. And this morality, this performing, gathering all the virtuous activity, also it encompasses all the 6 paramattha practices. All the 6 paramattha practices. Generally, morality is, according in the teachings, is a foundation of all the practices. For that reason, great master Nagarjuna said, morality is like earth. It's a foundation. Earth is the foundation of everything, whether it moves or whether it don't move. Everything is based on the earth. Similarly, morality is base of the entirely realization of the nirvana. All realization of the enlightenment is based upon the moralities. So therefore, this performing all the gathering all the virtuous activities that encompass entirely teachings or practice of the Buddha Dhammas, 6 paramattha's. And as I said, shamatha practice, vipassana practices, visualizations, and complete state practices. That is what it is. And so that is really about the second is morality. Third morality is performing the beneficial activities for all the sentient beings. Directly, indirectly, whether it is the big, small, medium, whatever, but do with joy, do with the open heart, do with the loving kindness and bodhicitta, and always keep up with the steadily keeping up the beneficial activities, whatever that we can. And in the teaching mentioned, or in the teaching of how he said, now of course we can help sentient beings. Now we can help and start to help as much as you can. But really when we can help is when we reach to the first bhumis, or when we reach to the seeing path. That time our activity of the benefiting is become more effective, more fulfillment, because we see more clearly how things can benefit and help in that. But until that, you can maybe always kind of do our best as much as can. With a gentle, peaceful manner, with a respectful and calm, peaceful. What the teaching said, politeness, helping benefiting to the other beings, with the polite, with the respect, with the kind of with the communications, with exchanging the communication between you and others, nice, welcoming, and those are the verbal gesture of the politeness, and the physical gesture of politeness of the smiling, kind of nice looking, respectfully according that, and very kind of thoughtful, very respectful. Those are really the gentle in peaceful manners and politeness. And then of course our heart is filled with the bodhicitta, forbearance, then help according your capabilities or our capabilities, according readiness of others, how much they need, how much they want. Never push, never force, never imposing, and gentle in peaceful manners, helping to the others, with respectful politeness, and be as friend, be as intimate friend as you can make. Be friend and support, and same share their feelings, share their intentions, thought, according, then helping to the others as much as you can. But when we reach to the first bhumi or the same path in the teaching said, that time, then really you can feel more effectively benefit for all sentient beings. Those times, then in the teaching said, you can use such as full tools to gathering and support to the others, and kind of politeness, and with then generosity practice. Do generosities. And the generosity is material generosities, and the teaching generosities, protection of the support and help and assistance generosities. Those whatever they needed, whatever you can do, then do those things. At the same time, share the feelings, share their kind of interior thoughts. Mingle with that. We're not just kind of like support, we're completely kind of like isolated person. We mingle with that with politeness and gentle and respect manners. And at the same time, then whatever we say, on the, such as teaching generosity, whatever we say, for example, support to the others, and we also do that too. We're not just only the talkers, talking. We are practitioners. We are also continue to keep up that. So then it's not just an alien, or you're not talking something from your brains, but talking from the heart, and with really calm and peaceful manners. Those are in the teaching sense. So through that, benefited to sentient beings. And each time we may benefit to able to do some little help and be happy ourselves. Happy, and we may I able to do more next time by the blessings of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And whatever the merit I gained from this, energy I gained, may that benefit for all living beings, for their enlightenment, for their removing their suffering and difficulties, for all sin, for everything. Everything, really dedicating that merit. So those are in the teaching said morality that well, benefiting for all the sentient beings. Again, in the teaching, said, as I already said, that directly, indirectly, big, small, medium, whatever we can have, with the joy, with the appreciation, and with the respectful, with the politeness. That is what the teaching said. So that is my brief talk for today of this morality. Again, thank you very much everyone for participating and coming. And now we do this practice of the Dakinis. And now we're going to do the actually what's called stainless cane. Stainless cane practice is really, again, so important. And for example, when we do by accidentally, maybe not intentionally, but many times we do kind of unwholesome activities. That happen many times. And what is the best? To purify. To purify. Cleanse it. There is no negativity that which cannot purify. And therefore, to purify is so important. So this stainless cans is really one of the very powerful tools of the purifying the negativities. What in the teaching said, 4 powers. We are using 4 powers this time. Vajrasattva, inseparably, Muslim definition as Vajrasattva or inseparably and Vajrasattvas. Then we join these prayers. And each of those are a reminder of the negativity, what that happened through our body, speech, mind. We purify this. In the teaching, always, often those great masters in teaching said, purify the negativity with 4 garations. Garations or 4 army brigades. Army brigades. That is so. That negativity is so powerful. You have to have really strong garations. Those are the garation of the body, garation of the speech, garation of the mind, and garation of the all. All that. And body garations what? Is doing the prostrations. Or folded hand, tall heart center, well jointed. And speech garations is reciting the prayers. Reciting these prayers. Those are the speech garations. And mental garations, it is reciting the mantra of the Vajrasattvas. Reciting the mantra of the Vajrasattvas. And garation for all, it is known as meditating in a Dokhi status or absolute truths. Those are known as the realization, the confession praise of the absolute natures. That is garation to all purifying that. And with those garations, then what we make the offerings that time. And they say the offering of the Tolma, offering of the Rakta, offering of the Amarta, offering of the light offerings. All illuminated up, all lightened up, and fulfill that. And that is also represented our body, channel, wind, essence elements, and our awareness also. We are really offering. So with those, every practices, such as a stainless king, it is very powerful and very special practice. Really, in the teachings, it will purify the obscurations and also restore our merit is so powerful. So therefore, and in the teaching said, of course, we do now 10th day and 25th day, which is good. 15 each time in a month. Each month we do 2 times, which is wonderful. So it's in a way purification practices. Or it's like Sobjong in a Vinaya teaching said, purify and restore practice, Sobjong practices. Or in a Vajrayana teaching said, Ngakso means restoring of the Samaya brokenness. Broken, so it's a very, very special practice. So that also we're going to now do these practices. So those are just, I thought, reminding that again, we remind it and thank again for participating if you have time. Now we stay, we do the stainless king practices, and then we do the Orji healing practices, and then the Gnana Chakra ceremony of the Dakinishin Soja. And so those are our studios. Okay, thank you. Now we do again for short time, the meditation, silence, Dzogchen meditation, or Mahamudra meditation, or Panchaparamita meditation,